What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched three episodes of each anime. We got Bucchigiri and Metallic Rouge. We're going to do things a little different here. The new season of anime has started. There's a bunch of different animes out there right now, and we are kind of sampling a lot of them right now. So we have been watching Bucchigiri and Metallic Rouge, and I think we're going to do kind of a where we're at right now after three episodes of each kind of situation, see if we're going to continue watching them, how we're feeling about them moving forward. And in case you're new here, we do weekly reviews of current animes lately. We've been doing Solo Leveling. We've done Demon Slayer, JJK, all sorts of stuff. So it's not typical for us to kind of do this, but there's so many different ones out there right now that we're just kind of trying them all out. So let's talk about Bucchigiri real quick. And because this isn't a full-on review, I'm not going to go too far into what's happening, but basically it's about a guy named Ara who's mixed up between two warring gangs at a school because there's a girl he likes who hates him. And he ends up coming upon a genie. I don't forget what they call it in this, but some kind of entity that is helping him sometimes with being strong. So yeah, there's a lot of craziness that ensues with this. It's very vibrant, colorful anime. A lot of humor that doesn't necessarily work for me all too well, but there's a lot of humor in it, and a lot of fist fighting, because that's a lot to do with these different gangs running into each other and their dynamics and how they're trying to recruit people like Ara to them. We've watched 3 episodes of Bucchigiri so far. It's all that is out right now. How are you feeling about it so far?
So I like the art style. Not necessarily the character design, but the art style itself. It's very sharp. It's very crisp. Really nice colors. I also think it's animated very well. The hang up I'm having is the story is pretty non-existent, and for what is there, it's not put together very well. So it's like hard for me to care about why they're fighting each other. Mm-hmm. I'm also kind of tired of the main character's shtick of needing to go to the bathroom all the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying. So I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it. I think overall I'm not like super into it, just because I don't think it has a lot to offer outside of just like quote unquote, pretty characters and fighting basically. And I think the Djinn or the genie, whatever term they're using for it, is also kind of annoying because he just floats around most of the time, yells about getting pumped up and saying Bucchigiri.
Says Bucchigiri a lot, and also a thing we hear a lot is honky people, which I am very happy with. They say it so often, it's ridiculous. I pretty much agree with you 100%. I was thinking as we were watching this last episode, like what do I like about this anime so far? And it is the animation. It's animated very well. I love how sharp and crispy it looks. It's a very nice looking anime.
Very pleasant to look at.
The art style is also awesome, although the character design is not too much to my liking. But they do all look very different and are very detailed. Like it's a very high quality looking anime. So it's definitely got that going for it. And I've been surprised with how good it's animated. Character design, everybody looks very individual. It's very easy to kind of keep track of who's who.
True.
Problem I'm having is I don't like any of the characters so far. It's only 3 episodes, but like there's not a single character I like. Especially Ara. I don't think he's a cool character.
Super annoying.
He's kind of a dickhead to everybody, and he's super selfish. I know it's probably for comedic value, and I'm sure as the anime goes on, he'll develop relationships hopefully. But as of right now, he's just kind of like a selfish asshole, and that's not really keeping me wanting to watch the show. So as a main character, it's not very interesting. The girl he's into also is like a psychopath, and the green-haired guy who's the leader of the Shigama. He's probably the most interesting character, and he's kind of one note and kind of, whatever. The genie guy, he can sometimes feel fun, but he's super one note and repetitive. He's super predictable, and he does just kind of float around going Bucchigiri, Bucchigiri, and wanting to merge for strength, while Ara wants to lose his virginity. Basically, that's his whole ambition in the anime. So yeah, characters are not likable yet. Story also is not that compelling for me. I don't want to go too far into it because maybe for whatever reason we're only 3 episodes into it, so I don't want to go too deep. But it's new guy at school. He's people are confused by his strength that he had at one moment, and now people are vying for him. He also has an old friend that he's like a complete dick to. And I don't get the what the joke is that they're trying to portray here, that his friend is so obsessed with him and thinks he's so great and he's kind of pathetic, and then he's like a dick to him. Like, I'm sure that'll develop over time, but like it just doesn't work for me because like it's just I don't know. It's not very interesting that he's just an asshole to his old friend, and we don't know why really yet. So, and his friend looks up to him so much. So, yeah, it's story wise and character wise not compelling for me at all. So, moving forward, I don't think I'm going to put emphasis on watching this weekly, but I would maybe after a couple episodes have come out, maybe go back and see where it's at and what it's doing, because I'm kind of curious on what we're even doing with this anime. Like, why does it exist? It's got to go somewhere, so I'm kind of curious, but it's not a high priority for me, so I'm not going to be watching it weekly, but definitely curious to where it goes. Also, I don't know if this is a manga or not, or if it's an original story. Okay, so nobody knows wrong, then. But if it is a manga and you know where it goes without spoilers, let me know if we should stick around and keep watching it. Like, maybe it does get really good or something like that. But yeah, it's kind of a hard sell for me right now. So, especially with all the other things I want to be watching, it's not high priority for me. But definitely has some strengths. Like I said, it's good looking, very crispy, very high quality, and animation's fantastic. So I'll give them that. Any lasting things you want to say on Bucchigiri? You gonna keep watching it?
No, I'll probably drop it unless you decide you want to finish it. Then I'll sit down and finish it with you. But
yeah,
I think on my own time, I'll probably pass. So.
All right. Well, let's know in the comments. What do you guys think about Bucchigiri so far? 3 episodes in. Are you liking it? If you are liking it, what are you liking about it? If you're not liking it, what don't you like about it? And let's talk about Metallic Rouge.
The 3 episodes we've been introduced to. I remember Rouge's name. I don't remember her full name, but she is a neon, which are
metallic,
synthetic humans or androids or something like that. I'm not 100% sure on that one. They require nectar to function, and if they don't receive it, they start to basically fall apart. They go into like a seizure, basically, and then pass away. They're very much treated like equipment by humans, though they are sentient and they have emotions and feelings and stuff. So there are some inner politics in the show that we're seeing with them secretly trying to, an open secret, I should say, trying to gain some form of like independence. So I can't remember the girl with glasses name, but she's basically the handler for Rouge, for this group, which I don't know if we received a name for yet. I apologize if they said it and I missed it, but they are after what are referred to as the Immortal Nine, who are opposing what I assume would be the government. And we're shown that 3 of them have been defeated. We witnessed the fight between Rouge and the 3rd of the Immortal Nine, who was hiding out as a performer, basically. And so we got to see the show give us what you see in the trailer, which is them turning into these like mechanized battle armor suits, basically, and fight. And you see a bunch of them in the trailer. So, but we haven't, or not trailer, the opening. But we've only seen the 2 so far. And we also were given a little bit of background with neons were originally made for war when they were taking Mars, I believe is what they said. I might be wrong on that part, but so there are remnants of war machines which we are shown at one point. in a forest as they're going from one place to another. I think that's basically it, other than Rouge's obsession with chocolate and the other gal's obsession with just eating in general, to the point
Typical.
where she talks with her mouth full a lot.
Yeah.
And it has a very old school vibe, if you're familiar with like 90s, even maybe early 2000s animes. So that's
So basically the show gives me a strong like episodic Trigun. Like we just watched the newest Trigun when that was out, and kind of reminds me of that because every episode feels like its own isolated story with an overarching story that's going on. But also gives me like heavy like Blade Runner vibes because it's
Yeah.
futuristic, but also like hunting these things down. So yeah, that's interesting. First and foremost, the visual style is awesome. I love looking at the show. It definitely does harken back to 90s animes, but very modern in like, you know, the technique of how you animate things. It's very clean looking, but it does definitely have that older style to it. Even the intro song sounds like a 90s song almost, which I kind of like. So yeah, the animation is good. The mech suit stuff is pretty good. So far we've seen 2 episodes where there's been combat and it was done pretty good. It seems, you know, kind of brief when things happen, but so far it's definitely not the main point of the show, which has been a lot of the neon politics basically. Which I do like, but also feel like drags the show down a little bit because there's a lot of dialogue about the dynamics between humans and neons, and within like, you know, a minute or two we get it, but every episode has been very heavy on the neons are basically sentient and they get treated like shit. So I'm hoping that'll you know, move forward in whatever way it's gonna eventually, because it is a very heavy element of the show so far. I don't particularly like or dislike really any of the characters so far. They haven't really grown into anything that has any kind of like likability, I guess. Rouge is fine. Her whole chocolate thing is fun. The other girl is like fine. I forgot her name. And the people who they've ran into are okay so far. So yeah, really for me, I would be open to watching another episode of this to see if it goes anywhere, but I am kind of, I wouldn't say I'm losing interest. I don't know if this is a weekly show I need to be watching, or if I should just, you know, potentially if I stopped watching, you kept watching it, and you're like, oh, it does start getting better, I would be open to like coming back and watching it on a weekly basis. But as of right now, I think I would just, you know, wait for a couple more episodes to come out, maybe watch them in like a chunk and see where it goes, because I really do think that the visual style and the essence of the show is very unique feeling in a weird way, because it does look like those older animes. But story-wise, nothing super compelling yet, but it does have a light framework of something that I think could build into something really good if you just give it time. It might be one of those slow burn animes, I'm not sure, so I don't want to be too judgmental on it. But I am, you know, this last episode we just watched, episode 3, was interesting enough, but it was kind of a sleepy episode for me, so I was kind of like, you know, losing interest sometimes, which kind of sucks to say, because like I said, I love the way it looks. So yeah, definitely curious about where it goes, but not super invested so far. You?
Yeah, so overall, I kind of like the setting of it. I am definitely interested in
The world's really cool.
yeah, where it's going to go. The episodes we have, I would agree, it feels a little slow starting, and I do think it's going to be a slow burn. And hopefully it'll go beyond that, because I do think the foundation they're putting down is interesting enough. I love the aesthetic. I think the character designs are very cool, including like the neons and stuff. I think it's a fun premise.
Yeah.
I do enjoy some inner political stuff in shows. I just, you know, kind of went into show blind, so I wasn't really expecting it. So, This episode I warmed up to it a lot better. After the last two episodes kind of showed me there was going to be a lot of talking.
And I do feel like it's only 3 episodes, so it's like really hard to have like a hard opinion on anything. But it does seem like Rouge had, I think that's her name, had something happen in this episode that kind of changed her viewpoint and dynamic a little bit. And like, I'm curious where that goes. Kind of viewing, neons as being, individuals and stuff like that. So something was said to her that I'm not going to go into too much, but so yeah, already things are kind of changing up a bit. So
yeah, she definitely went from like following orders to starting to think for herself a little bit.
Exactly. So that's interesting.
Yeah. I'm curious to see, because also at this point too, the relationship between the two is very professional with a little bit of casualness to it. They do expect that to expand.
They don't seem super buddy.
Yeah.
They just kind of like talk to each other, and there's some like fun dynamic between them, but like they don't really seem like friends so far.
Yeah, and I hope that is something we also see develop in the show, because otherwise it's just going to be basically like the boss and the employee relationship, which I don't know if I would want to watch for. I don't know if this is a 13 or 20, 24 episode show, but.
I'd be impressed with this being 20-something episodes with how well or how good it looks.
I mean, if it's a full season, it will be. But I didn't check beforehand, so it might just be a core. But yeah, overall, I'm interested. I'll probably keep watching it. Pending your decision, either with you or.
I'm down to watch the next episode.
But I'm interested enough to finish it at least. Do I think it's going to be like a 10 out of 10 anime? Probably not. I'd love for it to be. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think it'll be, at the very least right now, I'm feeling 6, 7-ish right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. Like I said with Bucchigiri, I'm like pretty much ready to drop it and then maybe return to it later once it's finished to see something maybe. But like with this, I do want to give it another episode or two, because there is definitely potential here. But if I do end up dropping it, I do want you to let me know what you think of it as you keep watching it, because I might come back to it. Mm-hmm. But I am going to give it another shot, because I do see the potential there. So yeah. Nothing else?
If I had a major complaint, it's multiple times now the show just ends and goes credits. It's weird. So
episode 3 just like something. It showed a shot of something that just ended instantly, not like
no fade out, no nothing.
Yeah, not like a cliffhanger way or anything. It was just like something was supposed to be there and just was like, no, we're done.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, bye.
And I do wonder if this is just like a smaller project for Bones, because I've seen Bones' work and they're pretty amazing usually. So
this
it looks good.
It's very high quality. Yeah. Like the art's really well done. It looks great.
Yeah.
So
just weird direction in that regard. So
yeah.
But overall, I'm curious. I have a pretty stacked season. I think I'm watching like 13 shows this season right now. So it's kind of rough.
So you're giving Metallic Rouge so far in 3 episodes like a 6 or a 7. What'd you give Bucchigiri? I'm feeling like a 3.5.
I was gonna say 4. Yeah, it's a 4 right now. I think it has some stuff that I like about it, as we mentioned earlier. But you can't watch a show if you don't care about the story.
Yeah, like and the almost non-existent story. So,
I mean, I'm currently watching some pretty trashy shows, and they still have better storytelling.
Well, if like the humor was there, at least I'd be having fun with it. But yeah, even the humor, I'm like, it's not that great. So, yeah. At least with Metallic Rouge, I'm watching it for an unraveling story that I see potential in, and an art style I think is really cool looking. So
for sure,
yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it. Mm-hmm. We're probably going to drop Bucchigiri, and we'll at least watch one more episode together of Metallic Rouge. And if that changed my mind, we'll continue watching it. But we are still watching Solo Leveling. We're still watching Delicious in Dungeon, so stay tuned for those weekly reviews. And let us know in the comments, what do you guys think about Bucchigiri, and what do you think about Metallic Rouge if you're watching either of those or both of them? Honest opinions, no wrong answers here when it comes to your opinion on it, if you're liking it, if you're disliking it. And yeah, let us know what you think about when it comes to that. I've been Seth, it's been Chevy. Stay tuned. We got more reviews coming soon. I also did a review for Attack on Titan Season 1. I finally finished that. My full thoughts, full spoilers there, if you want to hear my thoughts on that. And then we have our reviews for Solo Leveling, Episode 3, 4? Episode 4?
4.
And Delicious in Dungeon, whichever the last episode of that was as well. So check those out. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later.